Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's Mary Jane. What's good? Anyways, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please like the video. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peoples. So anyways, there was an interview with Jasmine and Rod on V-103 Atlanta, basically. So it was correct. It was quite interesting to me that a lot of people support Jasmine. I was like, whoa. So anyways, to give us a little history about Jasmine. Jasmine is from New York. She moved to Atlanta 7 years ago, but she also lived in Alabama as well. And she was going to school in Alabama, and then she moved to Atlanta. And basically, she was working at Hooters, and that's where she met Rod in 2012, basically. And from there, they had a relationship. And then one of the DJ personality, forgot his name, he says to Rod, "Oh, so you went in there to get some wings and oysters and you left with a baby." I thought that was hilarious, basically. And Wanda was kind of going in on Jasmine, and then the callers called and went in on Wanda, saying that everything is Kurt's fault. And people were just like really aimed at Kurt and not Jasmine. I was like, oh shit. So basically, we get a little information about Rod. He's actually from Indiana, Annapolis, basically. And he was a real estate agent, but in 2007, the market fell. So he moved to Atlanta and he started to be a manager of artists, basically. And so, and he talks about that he dated Mimi from 2004 to 2007. And then he looks at Jasmine, and Jasmine goes 2009, basically. And the DJ personality said, "Oh, why are you looking to Jasmine for answers," basically. And then Rod goes, "Because she knows me better than I know myself," basically. Then we also learned that Rod's father died when he was 2 years old. His stepfather stepped into his life when he was 15 years old. And basically, Rod has 2 daughters. So basically, the question was to Jasmine, like, everyone think that you and Rod are scamming Kurt and Rashida. And basically Jasmine goes, I'm not scamming anybody. How can I scam a baby? How can I scam being at the strip club and Kurt coming in and wanting to get some of this nookie? And she was like, Rod was in jail at the time, so how could he contact Kurt? Basically, it is what it is. We'll see how it plays out. And they was like, so is Kurt the father? And Jasmine goes, 100% Kurt is the father. He is the father, 100%. So we're like, okay. So then, the audience members called in and left a question too as well, saying to Jasmine, you had unprotected sex with Kurt. And didn't you know you was going to get pregnant? How come you didn't go to one of these grocery stores or one of these drug stores and get the Plan B pill? And Jasmine was like, well, I didn't know I needed to get a Plan B pill, because basically I was thinking she was saying that, but she didn't verbalize it, that maybe she didn't know that Kurt nutted in her or whatever, basically. Or maybe she doesn't know one-on-one sex ed or whatever, but she said that she didn't feel like she was pregnant, or she was going to be pregnant, basically. And she said, how come Kurt didn't say anything to me about getting a Plan B pill or whatever? Because basically I guess she's trying to say that, since Kurt's more older than her and married and have kids, that should have been his number one, type of thing to say to her, basically. But she was feeling like, okay, well, no, it's not that then. So then once she found out she was pregnant, she told Kurt, and then they made the decision to do whatever they want to do. Then basically a caller called in and was like, Wanda, you need to get the hell off of Jasmine's case. It's Kurt's fault, because he's going around swinging at dick and sperming in people, whatever, and he's not using and he's the one that's using unprotected. He's the one having unprotected sex, basically, and he's a loser. He's the only one that needs to apologize to Rashida. Jasmine doesn't owe Rashida any apology at all, because Jasmine is not married to Kurt. Kurt is married to Rashida, so he should apologize to her. He's the one that went out and found this girl, nutted in her, and got her pregnant, so he needs to apologize to her, to Rashida. And Jasmine doesn't need to apologize to Rashida. But basically, Jasmine says that she wanted to apologize to Rashida. She tried to reach out to Rashida many different times, but Jasmine also says that she felt like she made a mistake and she wants to apologize to Rashida, because basically instead of talking to Carly Red, the thing that she should have did was talk to Rashida first and let her know the business first before she spread it, the accusations that Kurt is the father of her child and she's been sleeping with Kurt, basically. But if she would have did that, maybe it would have been a storyline, or maybe it wouldn't have been as interesting, or maybe Carly Red wouldn't have a storyline. So basically, it is what it is. And the baby Cannon, he's at the interview, and he's so cute. He's adorable. I can't really tell if he looks like Kurt or not. But I do think it's inappropriate for the baby to be in this interview when they're talking about shit like this. So, okay, radio personalities and Rod and Jasmine, these guys are dead wrong for not having that baby in another room where he doesn't hear this type of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. So anyways, Jasmine basically says that she was young and dumb and she would never do this again, or be with a married man or anything like that, basically. And so basically, you know, she said that she didn't know she could get a Plan B pill. And once she told Rod that she was pregnant, it was too late for her to do anything about it. And so Rod said that he really thought that he really thought that Rashida deserved an apology, basically. But what happened was, now he doesn't feel that way anymore, because Rod says that he has reached out to her indirectly through numerous of people, and Rashida doesn't really care, and she's going to stay with Kurt. And even though she acts like she's on camera, that she's sad and she doesn't know what she's going to do with Kurt, or she's going to divorce him, but he said otherwise, that she's still in love with Kurt. Of course she's going to be, and she's going to stay with him, and she believes any and everything Kurt says to her. So basically, Rod feels now she doesn't deserve an apology. She deserves whatever she gets, basically. And then also, when the caller called in, she said that there's another rumor going around Atlanta that Kurt has another baby out there that's 2 years old. And they asked Jasmine, did you hear about this rumor? And Jasmine says, yes, I did hear about this rumor. And actually, the young lady contacted me and wanted to do a kinship test with me and my son to see if they share the same DNA, or to see if they're brothers, but nothing really happened of it. So I don't know, basically. So now there's rumor that Kurt has another kid out here in the streets, basically. So anyways, it is what it is. And Jasmine says that she tried to give Rashida information, tried to give her anything possible that she could give her, but Rashida's not hearing. Of course Rashida's not hearing it. She doesn't want to talk to a woman that is possibly have a child with her husband, and then it's on national TV. And plus, I don't know if Rashida should leave her husband or not. It's up to her. If she can forgive him and move on and have a happy and stable relationship with Kurt, and not throw up in his face that he cheated, or not have trust issues with him, then she should stay. But if you're going to stay in a relationship where you're going to not trust the person, it's always going to be like tension, because if he goes this place or that place, if his phone rings, you think that he's cheating on you, or it's another woman or whatever, then you should not be in that type of relationship, because it's not good for the kids and it's not good for you too as well. But anyways, as the interview was leaving, Rod says that he's going to be here to support Cannon and be there for him, basically, because he didn't have a father until he was like 15 years old. And he was like, he's kind of pissed at Jasmine, because he was like, Jasmine, what do you think Kurt was going to do? You think Kurt was going to choose you? Kurt was going to be with you? Kurt is supposed to stay with his wife. He's supposed to stay with his family. He's supposed to ignore you. He's supposed to act like you don't exist. And he was like, and Jasmine is very selfish, because, before I went to jail, Jasmine wanted to get pregnant. She was trying to have a baby, basically, but, Rod was in jail. And so it was like, he knows that Jasmine wanted to keep this baby, and she was going to keep the baby regardless, because she wanted a child at the time. And so we see this a lot of women that are looking for love. They think having a baby is going to bring that love to them, but little do they know it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a hard road by yourself, especially if you're not financially stable, because if you're stripping in a club, you're away from your child that night. And it's not some people desire to be strippers and some people don't. Some people desire to be a stripper for a while, gather their money up and move on, because that's not the career that they want to be in. It's just like if I needed money and I had to go out and I had to find a job, maybe I would find a job that I don't want to be at, but at this time and point, I need that paycheck, so I'm going to work at that job. And then in the meantime, I'm going to be looking for different employment. But I would say with Jasmine is, you never show your plate to a nigga that's hungry. So basically, Kurt showed his plate to Jasmine and she was hungry. She didn't want to be a stripper. She wanted to be a mother, basically, and all that good stuff. Now you got this guy that's married, got kids, and he's coming at you. He's lacing you with gifts. He's giving you cars. He's putting you up in apartments. And he's probably gave her all types of money and whispered, sweet nothings in her ear. And she's feeling like, okay, I could be with this guy, even though he has a wife or whatever, but she's hungry and she don't want to be on a stage anymore. Then plus on top of that, she wants a baby. So she's figuring that maybe, I can work something out of this situation because she's hungry. It's just like you showing up to a job, working at a job you don't want to be at, but you're hungry and you need the money to pay your bills. So Kurt was that job. So that's what happened. So anyways, that is the news on Love and Hip Hop. Cast stars Jasmine and Rod. And Rod did really call out Jasmine, saying that she was selfish and she shouldn't have did what she did and she shouldn't have had that baby, basically. But the baby's here and there's nothing else they can do. Anyways, the interview was RCMS V-103 Atlanta with Wanda. I forgot the gentleman, the co-host's name as well. But anyways, check out the interview. It's interesting. And Jasmine also says that there's not she can't tell us if there was a DNA test or not, but she's just sticking to a story that it's 100% Kurt's baby. And then the male co-host said to her, like, you could be making it up because a girl just made up that she was pregnant by Drake and got 100,000 followers. And and Jasmine goes, well, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna make myself look stupid like that. So we'll find out if Jasmine's gonna look stupid in the end. Peace. I'm out. Please like, subscribe, and please share the video on all social media networks. Thank you.